the last 5 years to be responsive to our community. And that's why I love doing this presentation.
Mark.
I just want to say that one of the first things I did when I got elected was ask the city manager to resign and brought in a new city manager. And here we are 4 years later, and our city is in the best shape, better shape than it has been in decades. Because we have a very professional, level-headed, business-minded city manager who believes the most dangerous, the most powerful word in government is no. And to avoid that as much as you can. And to take that attitude of, how do we get to yes? Can we get to yes? And if so, how do we do it? How do we make it happen? And because that, I can stand here and probably tell you that we are open for business. Despite COVID, despite Ian, Milton, and Helene. And I'd be remiss if I didn't Brown. Ward 2 is Diana Geraldo. Ward 3, Carolyn Watson. Ward 4, Lynn O'Shea. Ward 5, Fred Burson. And Ward 6, Darla. Yeah, go ahead. So just a little background, the city of Fort Myers is one of the fastest growing cities among the top 150 major U.S. cities according to Travel and Leisure and U.S. News and Report. This says 98. Recently, the University of Florida just released new figures on our population, 102,000. Okay. Some of the major development we have going on, and let me tell you, pay attention to 2026. This is going to be a boom year for the city of Fort Myers. Lee Health is investing almost $500 million in a new hospital on what used to be called Challenger Boulevard, now it's called Jones Walker. The News Press site, corner of Fowler and MLK. The developer is doing his due diligence on the site. We're talking several $100,000 worth of, several $100 million, excuse me, worth of development there. A hotel, office space, possibly a medical college. And let me say this, if this college comes, I predict within 5 years we will have a law school there in Fort Myers. Yeah. So office space, residential, retail, very walkable. He's got one of the top urban planners working with him to make this a dynamite project, which is very important because that's a catalyst project for the Midtown section, which we're, between MLK and Edison and 41 and Metro, that we're trying to redevelop. The downtown yacht basin, as soon as the Corps of Army Engineers issues those permits, that's one of the things I was in Washington discussing yesterday. We have got to get those permits because number one, that yacht basin being fenced and shut down is a constant reminder of the devastation we went through with Hurricane Ian. Not only that, it is denying our public access to the water. And the economic impact is negative. So I fought hard to get them to light a fire, the Intergovernmental Affairs Office out of the White House, to get them to light a fire under Army Corps of Engineers to get those permits issued. That's going to be over a minimum of $30 million invested in that. They're going to fill in the current yacht basin, make 8 developable acres of land, a big public, very public promenade with shops, restaurants, bars, all kinds of things. They're going to go from 250 slips to 450 slips. And we're talking about slips that will accommodate those larger boats. We want to get that type of client to come in, doctor a boat for a couple days, and spend a couple days in downtown, hopefully patronizing all the businesses. Amazon, if you look out there on the north side of 82, just past the interstate, the walls are going up. That piece, that building is going to be twice the size of the Edison Mall. And they're doing it without any government incentives, so that the taxes they're going to pay on that piece of property is going to be big for the city of Fort Myers. Costco's going up there between Metro and Plantation on the south side of Colonial. We're investing almost $140 million in a new police station at Fowler Market. And we have committed, because that's part of Midtown, we have committed to put up a building that's gonna shine. It's gonna be the example for the developers who go into Midtown. This is the quality of construction we want in Midtown, because it's important that we do this right. If we don't do this right, it will become a burden on the taxpayer in 20, 25 years. If we do this right, it will contribute to the long-term sustainability of our city because it will create such a great tax base. Fire Station 18 is getting built out there by the water plant on Tree Line. Again, we've invested heavily in our fire department to make sure we have the adequate coverage for the city. City of Palms Park, that's finally gonna, I think the council's finally gonna agree to demolish the stadium. That piece of land is gonna be worth more without the building on it. And it costs us several $100s a year just to own that building, even though it's basically vacant. Once that's done, we've got someone interested in putting up a multi-sports complex there, and everything that goes with it. Hotels, housing, restaurants, retail, all of it. Again, that plays into Midtown. Suncoast Beverages just finished up their project on 82. They took and they combined Collier, Charlotte, and Lee all into one building. And then Aviation Precision Technology, they relocated here from Miami. They do jet engine repairs, and their company is the only company in the world certified to work on certain jet engines. And so they're bringing those engines here, and they're employing people and contributing. Next. And then some residential projects, Ecos on Evans, that's affordable. Legacy Harbor is down there on West First Street. That's going to be an amazing project. Strayhorn Place is a public housing authority project. Triton Case doing phase 2 is well underway there on West First Street. Palmyra on the River and one they're doing the foundation work. Bloom is another affordable housing, workforce housing on Hanson Street where the Araba Temple used to be. St. Peter Claver Place. These are units that are going for $600 a month. Talk about affordable. Phase 1, 130 some units completed, and I think they have another 70 some coming in phase 2. Royal Palm Gardens Apartments. I'm gonna draw a blank on that one. There's so much happening. The Ivy just opened there, First and Fowler Street. Latimer Crossing, where Al Gallman used to be, next to McDonald's on 41 across from the golf course. That's almost completed. That's mixed income housing with some residential units on the ground floor. Seaboard Waterside Apartments, we're going to go up on Seaboard between 2nd and Palm Beach. And then Gardner's Park is over in the 3rd and Huff Place. Next. Look at this. Permits issued in the city of Fort Myers over the last 5 years. $4.7 trillion worth of construction permits. We are on fire, folks. Yeah. My first year in office, and I wish I could take credit for this, but I'm gonna put it out there anyway. The property values were just under $8 billion. Now we're close to $14 billion. Every time those values goes up, you know how that affects the millage rate and the ability to run the city, to keep providing the services. Our finance department continuously gets recognized by the Government Finance Officers Association. They got the Triple Crown City Award because they got these 3 different awards. They take it very serious to be very transparent with how your tax dollars are being spent in the city of Fort Myers. Next. And here's the millage rate. This is where those property values come into play. I got elected in 2020, we were at 7.964. My first budget year, we were able to do a rollback. And then you can see, last year we were at 6.5255. We set the millage rate this year at 6.5000. So we're continuing to drive that millage rate down. Next. We take advantage of every grant opportunity out there. This just shows you where some of it goes. But if you look, Our grant team has successfully applied for over $375 million in grants, and nearly $100 million has already been awarded. So we chase every grant dollar we can to make sure we can keep our level of service up and keep the tax rate down. Next. Many of you remember what, two, 3 years ago? Some of the places off tree line, if you were on the 4th floor, you had no water pressure. We have drilled 10 wells, and we're going to continue to drill. We are good now through 2040, but we're not stopping because we never want to be in a position. We were this close to a moratorium. You know that cripples a city. That's something very hard to bounce back from. So our city manager went to work, and he got the expansion of the water plant, and as you can see up here, fully funded through external sources. We're talking tens of millions of dollars, but you know, we could drill the well. If we can't process the water, it's no good. Next. Our public works crew, look at that. They've been out there in the neighborhoods cleaning them up. Over 150 tons of trash picked up. That offends me that people throw that much. I mean, we're talking about dumping, but they're out there picking it up, trying to keep the city looking good. I walk downtown almost every morning, anywhere from 4 to 7 miles. When I get out there, what I see is litter everywhere. But I know that the more litter I see, that means the busier downtown was the night before, and if they're busy, that's good.
Right.
By the time I get home and I shower, I get dressed, I sit and I read the paper, have my coffee, and I get out and walk to City Hall, it is spotless. The other thing is I challenge you, as you drive through the city, look for signs tacked to telephone poles or planted in the median. You know, we buy junk cars, we flip houses, you know, pressure washing, all those things. You're hard pressed to see them in the city. Our code enforcement team is out there actively pulling those things up because they make the city look trashy. And we're working too hard to clean it up to have that happen. We also, this resurfacing of the roads and the effort with the trash, that came out of the 2022-23 budget year. We had budgeted a transfer from the reserves of $2.5 million, not knowing we were going to get hit by Hurricane Ian. Not only did we not use the 2.5, we saved another 7.5 million for a little bit of over $10 million because our, yeah. And that is because your city manager will squeeze every penny out of every dollar. And the biggest complaint I get from his directors is, man, I worked so hard on a contract, I bring it to him, he reviews it, he pushes it back and says, not good enough. And then they all say, but you know, next time I go buy a car, man, I'm taking him with me. he's a pretty good negotiator. And he works hard to make sure we're spending that dollar as much as every which way we can and get the most out of it. So we've resurfaced over 36 lanes of road. We had not been resurfacing roads for the last 10 or 12 years. Well, after the bust. You know, the money just wasn't there to do it, and now we're focused on getting those roads resurfaced. Next. This I love. The people, the voters in Fort Myers, 67% of them voted for a $75 million general obligation bond for parks and recreation. That's going to allow us to increase our green space in the city by over 100 acres. We're going to add 18 new parks and then take existing parks and fix them up. Look, as real estate agents, you guys should appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of making this area attractive to the people you're trying to sell to. Next. This one, city manager and I were out driving around looking at the lots we own. The city of Fort Myers has roughly around 10 residential lots. We get them through code enforcement. People let their homes become dilapidated, they get code fines. The fines get to be so much, they finally said, look, take my property and you know, release me of these fines. We wind up tearing down the house and sit on a vacant lot. It doesn't do a neighborhood well. We have to maintain it. So we're out driving around looking at these, and I said to the city manager, why can't the city build a house on our lots and sell it for cost? And his response was, without hesitation, there's no reason we can't. and he put the director of community development on it. Next thing you know, we have a program. Last December, December 20th, 5 days before Christmas, we closed on our first home. It cost us $245,000 to build. It appraised at 317. It's in a minority majority census tract, so she was entitled, single mother with a 10-year-old son, she was entitled to 97% financing, $10,000 down payment assistance, and 1 point off the interest rate. Then she qualified through Lee County for $75,000 more on the down payment. Her mortgage is $165,000 on a $317 house. Her mortgage payment is $600 less a month than what her rent was. Tell me that's not huge for a single mother. So we have since closed on 2 more homes. We have 2 more that are under construction, and our goal is to do 50 homes over the next 5 years. Next. From the technology side, we're upgrading all of our programs to make sure that all departments, all the programs can work together to make sure we're being as efficient as we can. You know, we started to Fix My Fort. So if anybody has a problem out there, you see someone dump trash, or there's a sidewalk that's in disrepair, or a stop sign's down, whatever it is, you go to Fix My Fort and they'll be on it. Another. All right, next. We encourage involvement from our citizens, and here is a list of the different boards, citizen advisory boards. I would encourage you, if you have a business in the city or you live in the city, see if you have a passion for one of those. If you have a real interest, give the clerk's office a call and get your name in there for consideration to sit on the boards. I think it's very important for us to have that. Do we have time if anybody has any?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
If anyone has a question, we have an additional microphone. I can pass it on to you. Just put your hands